Welcome to Cat Sara Yoga and this yoga quickie for hamstring strength and suppleness. Enjoy. Begin standing with thumbs to the back of the pelvis, fingertips to the inner hip bones. Feet are parallel and inner hip distance apart. Rock your weight forwards and backwards on your feet. Feel this giving the feet a nice massage against the earth and feel the muscles in your feet and legs working. Make each little tilt smaller and smaller each time until the feet feel evenly grounded on the earth. Heel behind the widest part of the foot, arches feeling lifted. Bring your awareness to your pelvis, imagining it is a bowl of water. As you inhale, tip your pelvis forward, imagining water spilling out the front of the bowl. And as you exhale, tip your pelvis backwards, imagining water spilling out the back of the bowl. So inhaling, tipping the pelvis forward, keeping the shoulders stacked over the hips, and exhaling, tipping the pelvis backwards. Making each tilt a little bit smaller each time until you could imagine that the pelvis was level, like a bowl of water that's not spilling. Release your arms down by your sides. On your inhalation, shrug your shoulders up to your ears. And exhale, slide them down your back, repeating a few times. Just noticing how this feels, maybe having a few circles for the shoulders and settling with the shoulders away from the ears, turning your palms to face forward. Feel strong through your core, sucking your tummy in, lifting your pelvic floor. On your next inhalation, sit your bottom back into a squat and exhale to stand. Continue with your breath. Inhaling, sitting back, making sure your knees don't overshoot the toes, and exhale, stand. When your bottom sits back, you can sit it as low as you want to, keep your heart lifted. And as your bottom sits back into the squat, you might find your weight coming back into your heels. So keep the balls of the feet really grounded, and notice how this works the whole feet and the lower legs a little bit more. Inhaling, sitting into the squat, and as you exhale, gliding up, make sure that you come up softly. So you're not locking into the knee joint or hyperextending into the back of the knee. As you come up to standing, keep the knees just a tiny little bit bent, tiny little bit soft, and that will really work the muscles of the legs a little bit more. Let's do one more and then come to stand. Extending upon this, inhaling into the squat as before. Exhale, hinging forward at your hips. Bending through your knees as much as you need to. Bring your hands to the floor and come forward to hands and knees. Take a few moments to clarify this position. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Long spine, so not feeling bunched up at all. Tummy drawn in and pelvic floor lifted. Be aware of the 6 points grounding into the earth, the hands, the knees, the tops of the feet. So you're going to use that core engagement and control to release the weight from the right knee and the top of the right foot. The pelvis stays perfectly still as you do this. Inhale and exhale as you shine the sole of the right foot up towards the ceiling. Knee level with the hip. Inhale, bring the right knee back underneath the hip. It brushes the floor but no weight goes down through it. Exhale, again shining the right sole of the foot up towards the ceiling. Inhale, your knee glides back down under the hip but still using your core strength to brush it on the mat. The pelvis stays completely level. As you exhale, your sole of the foot up towards the ceiling, flexing the ankle, flexing the foot, will engage the buttock and the hamstring a little more. If that feels too intense for you though, just keep the foot very softly flexed. It can help as you exhale the sole of the foot up towards the ceiling to squeeze the buttock as well. Consciously squeeze the buttock so you're really toning the buttock, toning the hamstring here. And of course your core as it works to keep you stable. Making this the last round, shining the sole of your foot up towards the sky, flexing at the ankle, flexing at the foot, and exhaling, knee back underneath the hip. Ground down, knees, tops of the feet and hands. Shifting your weight to release the left knee without wobbling. Inhale and exhale, shine the sole of the left foot up towards the sky, bringing knee level with the hip. Inhale, knee underneath the hip. Continue with your breath. Keeping face and jaw relaxed, keeping shoulders drawing down your back and away from your ears, keeping your core engaged to keep the pelvis really level. And do try to just brush the knee against the earth as you bring it down without putting any weight down through it. That takes lots of core strength to do that, and it helps to keep the pelvis more level if you brush the knee on the earth rather than trying to float it in the air. And remember, you can increase the engagement of the hamstring and the buttock by more strongly flexing at the ankle, shining the sole of the foot up towards the ceiling, squeezing your buttock as you exhale that foot into the air. One last round, bringing your knee back underneath the hip, curling your toes under, and exhale as you send your bottom up and back into downward facing dog. It's okay to have the knees bent, and you can even paddle the feet, dropping alternate heels down, feeling changing stretches in the backs of the legs, taking a few moments in stillness in downward dog, really feeling extended from hands to tailbone. Raising your right leg up, keep the hips squared towards the earth. Float your right foot as high as you can into the air. And on your exhalation, step your right foot in between your hands. Shuffle it forward, using your toes to scooch it or your hands to gently ease it forward so that your ankle is directly underneath your knee. Inhale for a moment up onto your fingertips, so that you feel really long and lengthened through the spine. Exhale, ground your hands and draw your hips back, rounding over your knee, straightening your leg as much as you can, but don't worry if you can't get it straight. Keep breathing. Keep having a sense of drawing the right hip especially back as much as you can, and breathing into this deep hamstring stretch. Every exhalation melts away tension from the back of the leg, leaving the hamstring muscles long, soft and relaxed. Inhale, coming forward again, then ground your hands, step back into downward dog as you exhale, having a few paddles out for the feet, just moving or staying in stillness as your body needs. Inhale, and as you exhale, stretching your left leg up towards the sky, floating the foot as high as you can, keeping the hips squared towards the earth. The higher you float your left foot, the deeper the hamstring stretch for the right leg. Exhaling, stepping your left foot forward in between your hands, and remember to find that alignment, ankle under the knee directly. Inhale up onto fingertips. Exhale, grounding your hands and drawing your left hip back, both hips back, but especially pulling back on that left hip to stretch the back of the left leg. Breathe into the stretch that you feel. Visualize with every exhalation the muscles at the back of the left leg lengthening, releasing, becoming longer and more supple, soft and relaxed. And every inhalation is nourishing the muscles with energy and vitality. Face and jaw are relaxed. On your inhalation, coming forward, stacking the knee over the ankle again, ground the hands, and exhale, step back into downward facing dog. Maybe paddling the feet, feeling those lovely changing stretches in the backs of the legs. Come to stillness, take a lovely deep breath in, and then exhale, walking your hands back towards your feet, letting your knees stay bent so that the belly can rest on the thighs. This will be a deep hamstring stretch in both legs. Make sure your belly is supported by the thighs. That's really important. You can let your belly be soft and the thighs will be supporting your back. You can catch hold of your opposite elbow in front of you, hanging like a ragdoll. Change the cross of the arms. Notice how this feels a bit different and breathe into all the stretches that you feel. So at the moment the belly is relaxed, supported by the thighs, but we're going to engage the belly. So suck your tummy in, lift your pelvic floor, and on your inhalation, slowly roll up to standing, stacking each vertebra one at a time upon the one underneath it. Notice how you feel upright again. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.